the relevance of this school or this training is it is helping you become a successful entrepreneur. I've been asked to speak on, what did you call it again? Entrepreneurial Mindset, which I titled The Spirit of Entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurial Mindset. I hope I'm audible enough. Entrepreneurial Mindset, which I call The Spirit of Entrepreneurship. In life, whatever we want to do, it's important that we understand it, gain understanding of it so that we can prosper in it. For example, she's a student of university studying mass communication. What level are you now? 200 level. You gained admission almost 2 years ago. You were at 0 level. In other words, she is nothing. She's a novice as touching the matter of mass communication. She has been communicating right from baby. Crying is a way of communication by a baby to the woman. I am hungry, or so I need attention. Yeah. But when it comes to the subject matter of mass communication professionally, she is a novice, or she was a novice. Now she is in the process of becoming an effective and successful mass communicator. When at 0 level, before she gained admission, that's why you call it, the school start, they say it is what? O levels. That means you have just stepped on point 0. You want to now go in one direction. So by the requirements, the subjects you have passed, which qualifies you to gain admission for a particular course in a particular school, she was given admission, haven't been checked and ticked that, okay, you are fit. The level has been laid for us to now build upon. So it's like building a house. You go deep down first, foundation, you bring it out to 0 level. That's when you can start putting up structure. That's what the O level, primary school, nursery, primary, secondary school did for her. Now, I am not a medical doctor, so I am a novice as regards medicine. A doctor, a professor of medicine is a novice as regards law. What makes anybody anything is training. That's why even for children, when you meet children outside, when they behave well, you say this child has had good home training. So, business is not just dabbled into. You get proper training to become a successful businessman or woman. So we'll be talking about entrepreneurship. So the essence of this school is to help us form well as entrepreneurs, as businessmen and women, to be successful. So you get trained, you get new knowledge, your mind is tasked, they give you assignments in school, right? You do assignments, you're even doing for your so proficient, you even do it for your colleagues. What you are doing by so doing is what? You are expanding your capacity. And it takes capacity to do anything in life successfully. Capacity. So when you are gaining admission, you are plain, you are point 0, you know nothing. As regards that subject, it now bombard you with various things, give you assignment, you interact with people as you pass from one stage to the another. So that's why the courses have been systematically put together. They will not give you 401 at 100 level. There is what you need to get first to eat it bit by bit in sizes. That's why you don't give amala or solid food to a baby. You give breast milk, you give water. And after proper development, at a certain age, you begin to introduce some other kind of food and you grow. The same way it is for us in business. So you learn certain rudiments, and I believe you've been learning. You must have learned about bookkeeping. You must have learned about keeping records, various things, basic principles that apply to all businesses that you can now put them to use in whatever area you are focused on. Okay, so that's being said. So part of my assignment here is to add to that building block which is being constructed here. had my own building block to the good building. You are the building. You are the person. In fact, what I'm here to do is to talk about the things that make you a successful entrepreneur or businessman. There's a reason why I asked you, sir, about how many years you have in it. How many years have you been into the agro business? So you said you are going into it. So you are just learning about it. In our church tomorrow, those of you here now, you have expo. I'll be taking the business service in the first service. And what has been laid on my mind to share is planning for your retirement. And you will wonder, somebody may question, in a youth church, I'm talking about retirement. When some have not gotten job, yes, you should start planning for your retirement before you get the job or as soon as you got the job. It is an error. But thank God Daddy is here. There are not many people his age who can come for such training. They are not. And you know the dilemma there? They have been used to a particular thing. Somebody is in the bank as be a teller. All he knows, he's not a banker, he's just a teller in a bank. And that's what he has done for 20 years, 30 years, and he's retiring. So many people, especially in the civil service, they do a training for you. Maybe they did that to you towards your retirement, have you? Usually 1 or 2 years before retirement. What can that do? It's late. So they collect gratuity. Is that what they pay them, have you? And they collect gratuity and co. They say they now want to invest in the business, and they just put it sure, and millions clear in a matter of time. Why? They are not entrepreneurs. So they just want to dabble into businesses after they have been doing something else. They have been waking up, going late to work. 9 o'clock they resume, 3:30 they are out of the office. Oftentimes you see back in the office seated there, the person is not there. So they have been built, wired in a way that is anti-success in the business world. So that's the dilemma. But it's not too late. But it just means you will keep putting more hard work. Because what makes you an entrepreneur is not your business card. It's not having shop or office. It's not a title. It's not even money. It's a spirit. It's called software. So let me begin. I already began anyway. Oh, somebody already called me. Come on, Wadi. Okay, so the topic once again is what? Entrepreneurial mindset, or the spirit of entrepreneurship. So what is entrepreneurship? The word entrepreneur was first noted by or coined by a French economist by name Jean-Baptiste Say, and it defined the word entrepreneur in many ways. So entrepreneurship is the art of being an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurship is the art of being an entrepreneur. I will still give us the definition. Okay, let me give you now the proper definition of entrepreneurship. Take this down for your notes. Entrepreneurship is the art of stepping into and operating. Entrepreneurship is the art of stepping into and operating in the business world. The entrepreneurship is the art, A-R-T. It's both a combination of art and science. The art of stepping into and operating. That's the science about it. There's a science. There's an art to it. There's a science to it. Okay? The art of stepping into and operating in the business world as a viable creator, offering goods and services and solving people's problems. I take it again. Entrepreneurship is the art of stepping into and operating in the business world as a viable, underline the word viable, that's profitable, it's good to go venture into and will be successful as a viable creator, offering goods and or services, or even both, offering goods and services and solving people's problems. Did you get that? So let's look at certain keywords. The art, I told us about that already. It is a knowledge, a software, a mindset you step into and operate in the business world. So entrepreneurs operate in what? The business world. It's not the career world, as it were. Yes, there are intrapreneurs, employees who are entrepreneurial in their mindset. They don't own the business, but they operate in businesses. Do you get that? Okay. Why they are building a career, but they are entrepreneurial. So you don't have to own a business as the CEO or this before you are entrepreneurial. As a matter of fact, in the business world today, in the career world, people look for entrepreneurial employees. They are entrepreneurs to employ. Because I want to be free to pursue some other important things while this business entity is going on. So you put a manager there. The person who manages a business well is an entrepreneur. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
So you step into that business world as what? Either a creator. You don't have to always create to be an entrepreneur. You can innovate. For example, you are seeing this fine chair. Now, we didn't used to dress like this corporately. Did we? No. This is native attire. So when we are wearing native, maybe there's an Owambe and co. But today now we wear, this is like a corporate native, right? It's admissible in some places. Somebody innovated on this. We have been wearing native, but they now say, let's tweak it. Let's make our own popular. Let's make it such that it can become like our lingua franca. Your lingua franca is the acceptable means of communication, language, right? So this is our own. We now made it, instead of wearing quote and unquote Oyibo wears, shirt and trouser. So okay, let's make it like that. And that, some people can even sew suits with this. Sure. They are doing it. And very fashionable. Not that you look at it and say, where is this one coming from? Like a blast from the past. Okay, so innovation, being creative, and you offer goods and services and solving people's problems. Entrepreneurs are problem solvers. They see problems. They think of themselves as providing solutions to those problems, and people reward them by paying them a fee. Money is a reward for problem solved. Whenever you see vacancy, it means we have a problem, we have a challenge. We need you to help us solve it. For solving it, we will give you this reward, this XYZ amount, conditions of service, travel allowance, the health insurance, and all manner. We can even build you a house. It is people who are valuable. Okay. Let me quickly. All right. So, who is an entrepreneur? We have seen what entrepreneurship is. Who is an entrepreneur? I have about 5 definitions here. I'd like us to take it quickly. Number 1, an entrepreneur is one who undertakes innovations. He undertakes innovations. I already explained some of these things. One who undertakes innovations, finance, and business acumen. One who undertakes innovations, finance, and business acumen in an effort to transform innovation into economic good. One who undertakes innovations, finance, and what? Business acumen. He uses all of this. Finance, business acumen. Very, very important. In fact, that's what makes you an entrepreneur. Innovations. In an effort to transform such innovation into what? Economic good. It is not enough to have the skill to sew clothes like this or to do things. Doing it in such a way that people will appreciate it, buy it from you, and reward you at the price that has been set. That's the economic good. So you will make profit from that endeavor, either as product or as a service. Is that taken? So one who undertakes innovations, finance, and business acumen in an effort to transform innovation into economic good. Number 2, an owner or manager. See, I explained that earlier. An owner or manager of a business enterprise. An entrepreneur is an owner or manager of business enterprise who makes money through risk and initiative. I take it again. An entrepreneur is an owner or manager of a business enterprise who makes money through risk and initiative. So entrepreneurs are risk takers. They take initiatives. While people are complaining, entrepreneurs are seeing opportunities to serve the people and get rewarded. To serve the people, to meet a problem. Wow. If many people are busters, why you are complaining? Where are these bosses and all manner? Entrepreneur is thinking, okay, if this is happening regularly and it's happening consistently, at least Monday to Friday on this route, so that car I want to get, why not let me get a bus so I can be conveying people? And after doing it for a while, I say, okay, why not see if this is still persistent? Maybe when he was on leave, he was still working though. This is now, he's not even an owner of business, was working somewhere, but has entrepreneurial spirit, and seeing that it's okay. And maybe on leave one day and saw that this thing persisted and people are still stranded till like 11, till 12. This is business opportunity now. Why not if I get a bus, good driver, and find somebody honest, go there. That's how businesses start sometimes. Let me tell you how business starts. You know Sam Walton, the owners of, what's it called? Walmart. How did that business start? How many of us are married here? Okay. Have you, as your wife asks you to take her to the market, maybe you're driving to go to the market. For many men, as well as myself, I don't like going to the market. To buy, when they say buy something, it's like a challenge. Some people, it's their hobby. But me, I don't say. And he took rather his wife one day on shopping, and she went to the first mart, bought some things. He was seated in the car, came back, and he thought we had finished for the day. So I'm going to be going. He said, no, we are not through. We are going to that next place. Drove there again, got there, bought some things, came back, thought we were through. He said, no, another shop. After the whole day, he said, can't you buy everything in the same place? She said, no, you can't. They don't have everything at the same place. And I said, yeah. He said, so why don't they have it at the same place? So while they were going home, he was thinking, the spirit of entrepreneurship in him. He said, why is it so? You mean this is how all of you, all these women, this is our area and co. Global, that's how you people go for shopping. Little wonder you spend hours when you go by yourself. So he started thinking, this is a common problem for women to shop. So they can't get everything, groceries and all the things they need at the same place. What if you have a store where you can get everything? That would it be okay for you? Sampled his wife and some women. That's what we'll be looking for. We won't be going from here to there. It's laborious and cool. That's why he gave it a thought and said, okay, let's create something to help women to buy things. That's what led to Walmart. And he did that many, many places. And that became a business. Such that they now made it that even if it's a car you want to buy, you will get it. Anything you want to buy in that physical space, you should get it. That was a problem. But inside problem is money. But only entrepreneurs can see it. Okay? So, point number 2 taken. So, an owner or manager of a business enterprise who makes money through what? Risk and initiative. So, he took that initiative, although it was risky, but it paid off. 3, a person who is willing to help launch a new venture or enterprise. An entrepreneur is a person who is willing to help launch a new business or a new venture or enterprise and accepts full responsibility for the outcome. Willing to help launch, so may not be the owner, but maybe a co-owner, the joint businesses, but you're also willing to accept full responsibility for the outcome. So should I take that again? A person who is willing to help launch a new venture or enterprise and accepts full responsibility for the outcome. Accepts full responsibility for the outcome. Number 4, an entrepreneur is one who undertakes an enterprise especially a contractor. One who undertakes an enterprise, especially a contractor, acting as an intermediary between capital and labor. Acting as an intermediary between capital and labor. Labor talks of human being. Capital talks about other resources, money, relationships, trust. What did he say?
Integrity.
I didn't get it. Yes, integrity, yes. Okay. So one who undertakes an enterprise, especially a contractor, acting as an intermediary between what? Capital and labor. Number 5, a person who starts or organizes a business, a company, especially one that involves risks. An entrepreneur is somebody who what? A person who starts or organizes a business company, especially one that involves risk. Okay. So that's what entrepreneurship and who entrepreneurs are. Have we gotten that? Okay. So the spirit of entrepreneurship. So what's the spirit? So by spirit, I refer to the core, the soul of a thing. The spirit of anything is the spirit, is the soul of that thing. The core of it. In these terms, I refer to it as the mindset or the software of entrepreneurship. Business activities, physical activities are the hardware. Products are hardware. Companies, machines, your books, biro, computer, your devices, all that is hardware. Talking with people, hardware. But what makes those things happen is the software. The unseen parts, which is not limited. That's the spirit of entrepreneurship. Without that, all activities are paralyzed. In fact, it is the unseen that creates the seen. Whenever you see a business activity taking place, know that it had already happened somewhere in the realm of the unseen. And it's that unseen that determines if the physical activity will be productive and will last or not. Are we together? Are we together to this point? You must get this. This is the core of all businesses in the world. It is what drives businesses and makes them profitable. It is the core, the software that makes the hardware work. So it's the invisible part, and therefore it is not what? It is not limited. It is what takes place inside of the entrepreneur. That's the driver of the entrepreneur. So it's a software. It is a mindset. It is the ability, the innate ability, what controls, drives, moves the entrepreneur to do all that they do for business ventures to be successful. Are we together to this point?
Yes.
Okay. So, the spirit of entrepreneurship, or that mindset, is the eye that sees opportunities and maximizes them before the opportunities are visible and glaring to all. Is that spirit of entrepreneurship, that mindset, the entrepreneurial mindset, is what sees opportunities before it is glaring to all. They see the opportunity and maximize it. They take advantage of it. Are we together? I've given examples of it, like the one I told you about people at the bus stop, people complaining there are no vehicles, they are standing in the sun. Entrepreneurs see opportunities in difficulties. Write that down. Entrepreneurs, they see what? Opportunities in difficulties. So when entrepreneurs are faced with challenges, they think, what can we do? What can we do? What can we do? I'll be using the example of what the world just experienced and still battling with COVID-19, which sends the world on holiday, compulsory stay at home. COVID-19 came to differentiate between traders and businessmen or entrepreneurs. Traders, they got stuck. They can't move forward again. But businessmen and women, they switched mode. As a matter of fact, entrepreneurs made more money during COVID-19 while others were complaining. I saw a post on WhatsApp, a flyer, somebody posted, I remember, was it 4 of them or so, about 6 of them, and the amount they made within 4 months of the lockdown. Somebody like Jeff Bezos made $60 billion within that time. I know a couple of persons too who made money. In fact, April last year, one of us in our business, I operate in the real estate sector and co. While we were on lockdown at home, where in Nigeria, it was March 30th to sometime in May that the full lockdown was. In April, she got a commission of 25 million naira. No going to work, no transportation, no nothing. 25 million naira. It's an entrepreneur. Months later, almost a year after also, she made 60 million naira from just referring. Talking to people about there's this opportunity, why not invest here? They checked it out, find out that it was good, that their money will never be lost. They will make their money and their returns. And they brought in like over $500 million naira.
Wow.
And so 10% of 600 million naira is what? 60 million. Is that alert or alarm?
No, she will faint now. No,
it depends on the person. Is that explosion? we can talk about that after. Our entrepreneurs are sales oriented. In fact, the work that we continue to last, which many people don't want to do, is selling. Entrepreneurs are first and foremost chief sales executive of their corporation. If you cannot sell, you cannot be an entrepreneur. You are not. Entrepreneurship is first and foremost who you are. Okay, let me quickly tell us. I mentioned it earlier. What entrepreneurship is not? Let me just give us 5 of it. Entrepreneurship is not having money, a fat bank account, so I can do business. That's not entrepreneurship. You know why? How many housewives in Nigeria and even globally have their husbands set up, got a shop for 5 million naira, equipped the place and all manner, and in 6 months, both the shop, the goods, they sold the goods and the money cannot be accounted for. What happened? She is not an entrepreneur. I know a person, a friend, she says it. She says, if you put me in this thing, I will do Father Christmas. I will dash it out. She is not. That's her nature. There are 4 kinds of persons in the marketplace. Note them, and it's very important. 4 kinds of persons in the marketplace. If you get the book by Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki, you will see there. There are 4 persons in the marketplace. He calls them ESBI. E representing employees, the S for what? Self-employed, B for business owner, and I for investors. What's the difference between a self-employed and a business owner? They are both doing business, quote and unquote, right? But the self-employed is an employee of himself.
The business is all about him.
It's all about him. If he goes on leave, the business goes on leave. But the businessman, in his sleep, is making money. Somebody analyzed it. How many hours? We don't all have equal hours in a day. Yes, individually we all have 24 hours, but you can multiply your hours. Entrepreneurs have multiple hours. How? Making use of other people's time. For example, let's consider Dangote, who has 70,000 people in his employ. So Dangote has per day 70,000 times 24 hours. Did you see the difference? So if what you do is determined by the time invested and what you do, so while others are still working and doing this, while he is sleeping or traveling in the air or is lounging or praying at mosque or at the beach or whatever, money is entering per second. People in the tech world, what's his name, Michael Denugas and co, it's per second. As we are speaking now, as I mentioned his name now, 50 million has entered. Just by people using data and co. That is a business owner. It doesn't matter if it's alive or not. In fact, some business owner, Sam Martin is long gone, but the business is still making money. That's a business owner. Now, you may not be having the acumen or ability or the nature, because entrepreneurship is actually a nature, and it is the nature that determines the future. It determines what you will do. It is being before doing.
Yes, sir.
It is being. That's why I was asking that how many years has been in it. Now, you are just like a fresh secondary school graduate, sir, that you are learning. You are submitting yourself to learn. Now, it doesn't matter if it is the age mate of your grandson that is a professor at that business. That's your lecturer. I remember somebody did this for me in 2007. I attended Daystar Leadership Academy, and he said, it was a lecturer. He said, do you know the difference between you sitting there and I teaching? He said it's just time. It's not age. So many of you are older than me. It's that I came to learn this thing and master it before you earlier. It's simple. That's just the simple truth.
Wow.
So, that's why he needs to subject himself to the rudiments. Go to somebody who is doing it. Not just classwork. Because 1 hour field work cannot be compared to, or 24 hours classroom work. It's not compared to 1 hour field work. Because you will learn many things that nobody in the world will ever teach you. There are things that businessmen and entrepreneurs do that are not written in any book in the world. It comes on the spur of the moment as you see it. Okay, so I was using the example of the lockdown. And we'll see in part of the characteristics of entrepreneurs. Part of it is innovation. So entrepreneurs, let me quickly say that because of time, they are not emotionally attached to their business. That's what has stuck so many people. They have gotten stuck in the place. Especially when the lockdown came. This is the only business I know. And they are emotionally attached to it. Instead of opening their minds, okay, what is selling now? In fact, somebody defined money. He said, being wealthy is knowing the form money takes per time and taking advantage of it. There was a time that you can only make money by going for manual labor on a farm. Then it metamorphosed to industries, the Industrial Revolution and co. Today it is not so.
It's not digital.
It's digital. As I'm here now, I can be speaking to 500 million people all over the world from just this space. So that is the form money is. So it's not everybody that is not going to work and it's before a laptop that is Yahoo. It's doing something better than Yahoo. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so entrepreneurship is not having money. There are many people with money, but they don't know what to do with it. Okay. 2, entrepreneurship is not having an office or shop. So this is our address. 3, entrepreneurship is not having a business card. 4, it is not having a big title. I am CEO of what? Or nothing.
Chief Executive Officer.
That's a CEO too on the road. Oh, that's a good name. Thank you for that. So we get to use that. CEO. So the head too will swell. And they are really chief executive. They are executing with energy. So lastly, Entrepreneurship is not hustling. Some people engage in multiple struggles, thinking they are having multiple sources of income. He's a teacher in a regular school. After that, he goes for home lesson. Then he has a shop. After retiring at 6 p.m., he has to go to the shop. If he's not there, that shop is not operating. We become a business person if somebody is there and there's accountability process. It's not that you are seeing cartons and tins of Milo or beverages, but unknown to you, they have been sold. They are there empty. Oh, those are things we have learned in the place of business. So there must be processes. Okay. What's the let me say now quickly, let's look at the attributes of entrepreneurs. That mindset. What are the components of the mindset of an entrepreneur or entrepreneurs globally? Number one, entrepreneurs are risk takers. You must have heard me explain some of these things. Yes, so some of them are just lost over there. They are risk takers. It is risky taking up a business venture. What if it does not work? Yes, you will have to fail at some point. Even thriving businesses, they still fail at certain things. Only that they don't announce it. It's the good ones that has worked that you heard of. You know, I was still reading some days ago, the CEO of Nokia, when they were selling it, and why I shed tears, and all these executives, he made a statement saying they did not do anything wrong, but they still lost it. They lost that in the market. How many of us used Nokia phone before? You don't know Nokia.
My first phone.
Oh yeah, so you say Nokia phone. I think Microsoft bought it at some point. The Android version. Yeah, no, I think they had a deal part with him. Then they did it there. Why? They were the champ. Oh, BlackBerry. BlackBerry had what WhatsApp is today was what BlackBerry was doing, but just for BlackBerry phones alone. Android case, let's do this, and they say, hey, no, don't matter. Oh, we have a lot of companies. Kodak. Many of us remember Kodak. Photographers, that's what they were using. They captured the film and they go and develop the film. My guys came up and today now we do selfie. We do all manner. We don't even need to print things. But today now you can even print it on the go. Because they said no, they were not seeing. One of the characteristics of good entrepreneurs is they see into the future. And they buy into the future today. Please write it down. It's not there even in my notes. They see into the future. They see possibilities of the future and take advantage or position themselves to take advantage of it today. They see possibilities. So they study trends. In fact, solid super entrepreneurs, they go into the future and create things that people don't think they need now and present it to you. For example, the iPad. Who complains to Apple that we need something, a product that we can be typing and we can be doing this thing? We already have personal computer and we're fine. If you had personal computer, you are doing well. Big boy, big girl. So they say, okay, you go need this one. Take, try it. And we now bought into it. So they go into the future, create something that is not even in the view of people, and say, yeah, take, begin to need it. So before something becomes a need, they create it. And we'll buy into it. That's the realm you can get to. And interestingly, the Holy Spirit is the specialty in that area that helps people get into things that of the future and bring it to now. Okay, next. Entrepreneurs are organized. They are well organized. They keep record of things. They keep good records, especially their cash flow, their inflow and outflow. They have budget for things. They don't just dip hand into the pocket money. They come to the shop today. Hello, how much have you sold? Oh yeah, give me 10,000 to go and buy, and there's no record. And it's not something they are borrowing out to the tunnel. They don't separate. Those who don't separate their personal expenses from business expenses, they are not entrepreneurs. They are employees. They created it for themselves, just to eat. Entrepreneurs don't create businesses to feed themselves. It's to solve problems of people. It will pay them and pay others as well. So they are organized. 3, they are timely. How many have I given now? No. This is the 4th one now. Timely. The other one was that what was the other one? I said it, I didn't even put it in my note. Yes, they see into the future. I'm bringing forth news of today. So, entrepreneurs are timely. They do things to time. Many of our artisans are at best self-employed and even bad at it. It has been my concern, especially for people in the church. I tell them, number one, sometimes they have good skill. They can manufacture things that is good, that can even beat organized companies. Oh, we have seen situations like that. I remember when a lawyer friend was sharing with me when Deeper Life has schools nationally, and they wanted to do the furniture for their schools. And you can imagine how much that will cost. A big project. So they asked for samples. Costain, various other companies came, and these furniture maker too came, and they brought their sample. Interestingly, it was a furniture maker's sample that they picked. That was the best. Beat all registered company, but he was not an entrepreneur. Had this is not in my notes. That's part of the things we get when we teach.
Wow.
Entrepreneurs have legal backing for what they do, a legal platform. So, while you are skillful at something and doing something, register the business. At the least, register the business name. Because as entrepreneurs, you are not dealing with you as a person. We'll be dealing with you as an organization, a company. So they picked this guy's work, said this is a good one, and this was about 50 million or about 500 million. So that will do this was the robot. So it was somebody who recommended it, and again, this guy is good and cool. So it's you we are going with. So they asked him to submit. They will advance him to do some things and cool. So presents the account details and other. Lo and behold, he brought his personal account. He said, no, we are not talking of you. We are not giving you money. He didn't know that. And, some people pray. And I pray that, because we all have it at different levels. Some people pray for some breakthroughs. But when they actually come, we run from them. You think, how is that possible? What I've been praying for. Number one, you don't even understand what you are praying for. It's not well defined. Such that when you see it, you recognize it. Some other times, there's been an artisan like that. I think, was it an iron bed or so? We're getting small jobs, few thousands here, this and that. We got answer prayer, one day got breakthrough. There's a massive project and co. Say, she'll come and do 50 million naira. A guy escaped. He said, I want to look me.
Give me the job.
See, he said something the other time that when I mentioned somebody getting 60 million, say some people you will faint. Oh yes, because it's a level. It is easy to not mention. It is a different thing when you experience it. Money has a spirit. So a guy like that around the Okota, His dad passed on. They didn't know that dad has properties in Lagos and co. Was the friend of their father that managed, but he came from village, came and was working like a housemaid and co. What the friend saw him one day and said, where have you been? This and that. Been looking for you. He said, the father has some shares in so company and some landed properties. When he got everything on board, they calculated if we sell this and that. What came to him as a person was 200 million naira. The guy landed in hospital. For what? Because money. He had to stay 1 week from the shock of that. No, look to think about it, from housemaid to a multi-millionaire at once. He had to take bed rest first. They put him on drip. Nothing happened to him before. He was not sick. So, some people, because they don't have a legal backing for their businesses, they get edged out of opportunities. So, what number are we now?
Number 6.
Please note those things I've said are not in my notes so that I can note them too. Number what now?
6.
Okay. They are flexible. Entrepreneurs are flexible. They are not rigid. They are not emotionally attached to a particular business. This is the vision I saw. Vision is progressive, sir. A vision may suffice for a while. It is wisdom and part of the entrepreneurial spirit to recognize a vision that the time has passed and move on to the vision. Somebody said there is nothing like an idea whose time has come. That's what happened to many people during the lockdown. But it also opened up the entrepreneurial spirit of many Nigerians. Now you see online, I'm selling, especially food, selling this and that. People now buy cows to share to people. You don't need to go to market again. We will go to the market on your behalf. Buy the cow. You can buy 5,000. Buy this. You contribute various money from people. Buy a big cow. They kill it, distribute, and they make their money. So, but those who were rigid, no, this is my business. This is what I know to do. Some people who are not entrepreneurial employees, they are not entrepreneurs. They were crying on Facebook, help us, give us money. Teachers have not gotten paid for 3 months. Oh yes, it was that bad. I had to be doing a lot of palliatives. But entrepreneurs will think outside the box. Okay, if it is food now, I've not been in the food business. Find somebody who knows how to do it. Even before you get to that, I am selling food now. What do you need? Take order. Go and get it from where you put your own mark on it and get a cut. That's entrepreneurial spirit. They are flexible. 5, let me run because of time. Time is fast spent. Courageous. It takes courage to be an entrepreneur. The business world is filled with a lot of challenges. Many times you will try it and fail. I was hearing a story about the writer of, is it writer you use for them? Of this, what is it called? Squid Game. Yes. The movie. And it's been on it for 10 years. It was the lockdown that brought him forth. He's written it since 2009 and approached various movie houses. They turned him down, but kept at it. It was during lockdown when nobody was going anywhere. Just brought it up and the opportunity came up. See where it is today. Global phenomenon. Zoom has been there all along. How many of us were using Zoom before lockdown? For some of us who knew about it and downloaded it, never used it once. Okay, what's this one now? This thing that will be chopping data. But when lockdown came, data became life. Such that people, if you put off this fan now, some people make it project because there was nowhere to go and nothing to do. So let me put off this fan and put stopwatch to be watching the seconds that it will take for it to stop. And somebody, a lot of things came up. Facebook and Instagram became like, that was where we began to live. While somebody said he counted the number of seconds, the time it will take for the cistern, the water cooler, once you flush it, for water to be refilled. But you see, it doesn't have what to do. We're not in various things. So it takes courage to be an entrepreneur. You must have the heart. If you want a lion's share of any industry, you must have a lion heart. Be courageous. If you have failed, try again. Keep trying. Keep trying. Keep trying. Find out how to do it better than before. Ask questions from people. It takes courage to learn from somebody you know that you can give birth to. It takes humility and the courage to do it. Next, entrepreneurs are lifelong learners. Learning is for life, not a brief thing. That business, the best of businessmen in the world are still learning on the job. You will keep learning, keep innovating. Somebody said the day you stop learning, you start dying. And there are three things about learning. First and foremost, especially for those of us who have gone ahead to learn a lot of junks, you will need to unlearn. That's the hardest part. Unlearning what you have been used to. Especially here in Africa. And we even have both religious and cultural statements around it. If you come to church now, this is how we have been doing it. Let's do it the way it has been done. So it can be what it should be. And what it should be and which has not been paying. And you are still saying let's do it the same thing so that we are.
Let's uphold tradition.
Tradition. Yes, that's what Albert Einstein called it. He said doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result is another definition of insanity. So lifelong learners. Next, they are go-getters. They don't wait for perfect conditions. They perfect conditions as they go. In the Bible, in Ecclesiastes chapter 11 verse 4, Ecclesiastes 11 verse 4, the Living Bible puts it that way. That if you wait for perfect conditions, you will not do anything. They don't wait for perfect conditions to move. Before they move, they perfect things as they go, as they move. So, I don't have everything I need today, but they don't wait because they don't stop not taking action because they don't have everything they need. Next, that leads me to the next one. Entrepreneurs are innovators. They innovate. They don't look at what they don't have. Rather, they look at what they have and what to do with it, how to go about it, who to connect with, to attract or create the things they don't have. So, entrepreneurs are innovators. They innovate. Entrepreneurs are effective communicators. Effective communicators. Communication is the life wire of any relationship. Business relationships included. Communication. Something happened to me this afternoon. I had to put it down that I will cite that example. In my house, we don't use these PSP operators. Bless you, sir. So we use this, what do you call them? Refuse collectors, those cart pushers and all. Interesting, I learned this lesson from my friend that we usually call Aboki. He called me up this afternoon. When I saw his call, he said, and you know they can only speak few English. The communication was that he was traveling on Monday. He's from the north, so he's going to the north. When is he going to return? After the new year. Oh, I learned this was to me, he's a business person. He was calling me to tell me in advance because he had looked at the period the last time he came to collect our refuse, that it will be getting to the time where we will need his services. There are options. So you have a number of them. I just need to stay outside the gate to call on it. That's how I got him too. But collected number and he's been checking up. Now he's calling me to tell me I'll be traveling. Okay, I'm traveling on Monday. Now today is already Saturday. Tomorrow morning 6:30 I should be in church. That's very early. Looking at what can we do, even if the thing is not full and ready. But for that call, you must have that business. Did you see communication? How is helping business?
Either you keep it for him or
put him in.
So I asked him, when are you traveling? What time are you traveling on Monday? He said in the morning. But I said, can you still make it down to our place Monday morning, so you can still add this money to your money?
Wow.
Communication. Some persons, they have to deliver Monday. This is, they said 12 noon. This is 11 a.m. And they know they cannot deliver at 12 again. Integrity and wisdom, business sense demands, and courtesy demands you call your customer ahead. I am so sorry, this was what I promised for so and so reason, maybe logistics. Some is that they are even on the way. Maybe somebody, you are bringing food to a party and it is timely and you know you are already lagging behind. Business, if such people at that time, they now put off their phone, they now become unreachable.
Nothing can make me off my phone. Nothing. I need.
Business sense demands that you call your customer ahead. Please don't be offended. We are so sorry for so and so, and provide the solution. We'll make it up to you at so time. That's business sense. Without doing that, you lose businesses. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
So be a communicator. Following that is people skills. Men and brethren, an entrepreneur is into the business, irrespective of any business you are engaged with in life. You are in the business of people. People. Write this down. The difference between a customer and consumer. Customer and consumer. The consumer is the person who uses the end product. Pardon? Yes, who uses it? For example, you bought a recharge card and you are the one using it. You are both the customer and the consumer. If you bought that recharge card for somebody else, maybe your child or a friend or whatever, the child or the friend is what? The consumer. While you, the customer, is the person who pays for the product or service. That's the difference. So you can either be both a customer and a consumer, or you are just a customer or a consumer. Are we together? So, as an entrepreneur, you must know the difference between the two and know how to satisfy them. Let me use some brand. The beverages, Bonvita, Milo, and Co. Who are their consumers? Yes, I know we are, but primarily, who are the target market? It's children. That's why you see the advert is what? Children. Milo, the food drink of what? Future champions. Do you know the beverage adults should be taking? Over 10. That's the one really for adults. All those ones, they contain sugar a lot, is for children, for energy, Bonvita and Co. That's their target market. But is it children who will pay for it? No. They do adverts to focus on the consumer. The consumer will influence the customer. The parents will pay. You are into agric, sir. You may be dealing with feeds for animals. It is animals that are the consumer, but you must please the customer, who is the person. Maybe farmers, if you are selling to farmers and co. The person paying for the feed, that should be your friend. You should please them. Are we together?
Yes,
so entrepreneurs are into the business of people. So people's skills, very important. Because a customer that is well satisfied, pleased by your service, will tell 100 other persons, at least 10 other persons. They will refer businesses to you. A dissatisfied customer also will tell other persons not to patronize that business. Are we together?
Yes.
Okay, that's why I tell people who make loads, who do things that people will see. I say, well, if you make it well, you have done business well for yourself. If you do otherwise, you have shortchanged yourself. I am the last customer you will have from my side. I will not even patronize you again, let alone tell other persons. Next, entrepreneurs are collaborators. In this business world today, we are in for collaboration, not competition, as it were. Even brands who compete with one another collaborate to do things, to push their brands forward. Collaboration. That's why you see them. You may be seeing a newspaper and go, this and this are fighting. Even if they are truly fighting, it doesn't take long. There was a time Femi Otedola and Dangote were at loggerheads, but it didn't last months. Today they are friends. It's collaboration. Femi went to visit the refinery. Femi is also into oil and gas, isn't it? When the refinery is there, it's not for Dangote alone. So all of us, we have a part of it. We'll do things. It's collaboration. Don't just be a lone ranger. There's an adage, which is it Chinese or so, that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. Even the Yoruba said, Kane Kakpo. So if you go together with it. Do you know the secret of chief executive of Motors? Is their number. If you see a CEO on the street, you know that CEO, chief executive of Motors, that is bragging, doing one, just know that his guys are around. So if you mess up with him, you see they show up. They don't have the strength in themselves alone. Two are better than one. They will have times 2 of their individual results. So if you can produce at level 5, I produce at level 10. 5 plus 10 is what? 15. But if we both do the same work together, 5 plus 10 times 2 is what? 30. We'll be generating like 50 if we did it together. So it's better to collaborate. Find other brands or things that can complement. 2 good heads, they say, are better what? Than one. Collaborate. Last but not the least, entrepreneurs are inventors. And you see that in part of the definitions I gave earlier. That's the spirit. You can create things. There are some given that innate ability to just want to create things. They see things that are not there and they just create it. For some others, we just take what has been created and modify it. Add some services to it. Look at, this is how entrepreneurs work. You remember the banking industry. For those of us who are old enough, at least I served in 2003. And that was when Standard Chartered, Standard Trust Bank, that now became UBA today. Tony Lumelus and Co. STB. So you were there. So we're part of their first customers and Co. We had them during youth service. Then I served in Enugu State, and they compulsorily made us to go. They distributed us to those banks, they lobby and Co. And they took us to Union Bank. So when you are going to Union Bank, it's a day's job. So you do this. You first go and take tally number early in the morning. We have tally, and with that plastic or the paper they give to you, you now wait and sit down like jobless people. We nowhere. We'll be waiting. So if you have something to do, you can leave the bank, go and do some other things. Come back. Hey, what number have they got into? So some other guys came and said, we can't continue this way. You are losing man hour and all that. Let's innovate and put things here. So that's the advent of new generation bank, STBs and Co. And they took market from them. Thank God for people like First Bank and Co. They saw where this thing is going. If not, the first will have become the last. As a matter of fact, they honored UBA to retain the name. It was the smaller bank that swallowed the bigger bank. UBA today, that's why the chairman, the MD at that time became Elumelu from Standard Trust Bank. So they asked those. No, it wasn't. So they asked those babas and mamas who were monotonous with the whole system. Yes, and put Google here and be checking this thing for us. They asked them to shift. They shifted them. Why? Innovation. So today now, when last did you enter bank? But you have been transacting.
It's more than 2 years.
But you have been transacting. You have been receiving money and giving out money. Okay, that's innovation. The tires of blessed memory of GT Bank and Co. People started doing things and innovation. You know, we know this number before we started knowing of other numbers. *737. Ashabi? That's for which bank? GT Bank. But interesting, you know they are not the one who started it.
But they're more popular for it.
Oh yes.
Now.
You will think they are the ones who started this online banking and other. No. First Bank. Which other bank? About 3 of them had tried their hands on it. So they saw where they were missing it. Called guys together. Let's look at way to do it well and popularize it. So you think every other person we are following them. Innovation. I hope with these few words of mine I've been able to convince you and not to confuse you that it's the spirit of entrepreneurship that makes you an entrepreneur. Thank you.